It looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out.
Our notes said it about 3.1 as well.
3.1.
3.2.
This came from us?
Yes. I don't know who does that.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added.
Our entire capital.
Yeah, you just added in a third building. Is what that is. That's a third building.
Well, no,
including the
but
Martin building.
it's a building that's being built.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years ago.
It's part of the overall work.
It's not new.
So we're going to take a look. We're going to see what's happening, and it's got a long way. Do you expect any more additional cost overruns?
Don't expect them. We're ready for them, but we have a little bit of a reserve that we may use, but no, we don't expect to be finished in 2027. We're well along, as you can see.
Nice to take these off every once in a while when we're not under too much danger. So, any questions?
Mr. President, does the issue give you as a real estate developer, what would you do with a project manager who would be over budget?
Generally speaking, what would I do? I'd fire him.
Do you think this issue, Mr. President, gives you cause to do that?
Well, I'm here just really with the chairman. He's showing us around, showing us the work. And so I don't want to get that. I don't want to be personal. I just would like to see it get finished. And in many ways, it's too bad it started. But it did start. And it's been under construction for a long time. It's going to be a real long time because it looks like it's got a long way to go.
Yes, sir.
So.
Mr. President, are there things the chairman can say to you today that would make you back off some of the earlier criticism?
Well, I'd love him to lower interest rates. Other than that, what can I tell you? The country's doing really well. I just briefed the chairman on the deal we made with Japan. Japan is putting up $550 billion in order to lower their tariffs a little bit. That way they have a little bit lower tariff. And they also opened their country to free trade, which nobody thought was even a possibility. And we get a zero tariff in the free trade. We don't pay tariffs, and they're going to pay 15% on everything they send into our country. So it's great. But they put up, as you could call it, seed money. Let's call it seed money. You could call it anything you want, but it's a total of $550 billion. So nobody thought any of that was possible, and it's wonderful. And we're doing pretty well with the European Union, likewise. And we have some others. They're all really big, and our country's going to make a lot of money. We would be helped if interest rates would come down, but we're going to see how the board rules on that soon. I'd love to see them come down a lot. But we have a country that's thriving. We had a dead country 1 year ago. Today we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. And we'll get this one finished.
Mr. President,
Thank you.
Jerome Powell's announcement.
You've been watching video of President Trump touring the construction project at the Federal Reserve with Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Of course, President Trump has been incredibly critical of Fed Chair Powell for not lowering interest rates. And as of late, he and allies pointing to this construction project, which is over budget. Let me, with that, go to Yamiche Alcindor. Yamiche, really extraordinary moment where the president said it's 3.1, I believe, billion dollars over its projected costs. And the Fed chair said, what exactly are you talking about? Took a look at the paper and he said, oh, you're referring to a building that's already been built. It made for what was a somewhat awkward back and forth. What were your takeaways from what we just heard, Yamiche?
So remarkable and awkward definitely come to mind, Kristen, because there was that exchange that really was extraordinary because Jerome Powell has tried his best to really remain stoic, but also in the moment pushed back against President Trump, who was essentially chastising him for being over budget when it comes to this renovation of the headquarters of the Federal Reserve. And Jerome Powell pointed out that that building that he was saying where it was including in the cost was actually built several years ago. I think he said 5 years ago. So that's really interesting that Jerome Powell was in the moment not letting President Trump tell him that his project was overrun. The other thing is that we heard, of course, the president say to Jerome Powell's face several times, the Fed should cut rates, the Fed should cut rates. Jerome Powell didn't respond in the moment. And I think that that's also telling that, yes, he pushed back in that moment, but that he also wasn't sort of trying to fight on camera, and that they both sort of went up the stairs as there were more questions being asked. We know that Jerome Powell, who, by the way, was nominated by a previous president, but then sort of renominated by President Trump. So he has his job in part because President Trump in 2017 allowed him to stay in that job. He has said that he does not believe President Trump has the authority to fire him. And President Trump has complained about him, but has sort of stopped short of saying that he was going to fire him. But it is sort of a really interesting exchange to see them on camera together, knowing the tension there. That being said, I think we're going to continue to see sort of where this goes next and if President Trump sort of ups the ante anymore, Kristen.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.